Welcome back, everyone, to my challenge walkthrough of Golden Sun. I'm attempting to beat this game and show you how to beat this game without using any Djinn or without using any summons. You'll still be picking up the Djinn as you go along, so you can have fun with changing your classes and using the different synergy available, but we won't be using any Djinn or summons in battle. We pick up leaving the Goma cave, and we are right next to Bilibin, so just travel right there and enter the city. Inside the city, you can talk with everybody, learn a little bit about the story, read the scenes. And also, if you explore the town enough, you'll be able to find a Jupiter Djinn, which will join you by just interacting with it. Before heading out, I recommend equipping Gust onto Izak, Forge onto Gret, and Flint onto Ivan. This will give Izak the Apprentice class, Gret the Guard class, and Ivan the Seer class. Seer gives Ivan the Cure ability, and all three of your adepts have strong synergy abilities, except for Ivan, who doesn't get Flash Bolt until level 6. However, you should reach level 6 fairly soon. Gret's agility is a little bit low, but for this next area, you should still outspeed everything, so it's fine for now, but we'll be fixing that soon. While you're in Bilibin, you have the option to upgrade your equipment again. At the moment, you have nowhere near enough money to buy all the possible equipment upgrades you could. The priority for equipment upgrades should be a broadsword for Gret and Izak, and then any armor upgrades that you can afford. At this point, I could only afford a broadsword for Gret, and then I spent a little extra money on giving Izak some leather armor. You want to make sure you save enough money and purchase a few elixirs from the item store and have enough money to rest at the inn before heading out. If you search diligently in Bilibin, you can find a hard nut. I gave that to Ivan to help his survivability a bit. At this point, the story branches out. You can either head north towards Emil, or you can head east and south towards Kolyma. And for this walkthrough, I'm going to be going towards Kolyma, but you really can do either one. The levels down in Kolyma for the enemies are a little bit lower, so it's slightly easier, but if you do Kolyma first, Emil will be easier. If you do Emil first, Kolyma will be easier. On the way to Kolyma, you'll pass Kolyma Gate, solve the puzzle to get past it. Enemies in this region are slightly stronger than the enemies that you found around Vault and Vale, but nothing you can't handle. Like always, if you're encountering only one enemy at a time, just attack through them. All the enemies can be taken down with an attack from all three of your party members. Of note, also, the bats can be taken down by a physical attack from either Izak or Gret. Besides for that, you're just going to be using the same strategy as before. Until you reach level 6, focus on using Gaia, but once you reach level 6, use Yvonne's Flash Bolt and then attack whatever is remaining. If you have more than 3 enemies, use either a Gaia or a Flare Wall along with a Flash Bolt. After passing through the gate, you might see a forest area to the north. Skip that for a bit and continue east until you find Kolyma. It's kind of important that we find a Djinn in Kolyma before we move on to the forest with some harder enemies. Watch the scene and then you can explore the town. I usually don't like giving walkthroughs on how to solve the puzzles, but for this Djinn, it's less of a puzzle and more of a secret. I don't know how the developers expected you to be able to find this naturally. So behind one of the houses is a back entrance, and you're going to want to take that in order to get to the Djinn. Move underground, and eventually you'll find the Djinn, and he'll join you just by talking to him. I recommend equipping your new Djinn to Gret. With this, he'll go back to being a brute, and once he hits level 6, which you should probably have hit by this point, he'll learn Blast, which is a powerful Mars-based synergy. With this new Djinn setup, Izak will still be an apprentice, Gret will be a brute, and Yvonne will still be a seer. Once you're finished exploring in Kolyma, head up back north to that forest area that you passed. Before entering the forest area, just ensure that you've at least hit level 6. Make your way through Kolyma Forest, solving the various puzzles along the way. The monsters in Kolyma Forest are a lot tougher than what you fought before. Specifically, 2 of the monsters of note I want to talk about. The first is the drone bee. You should be able to outspeed it with your current classes, so it shouldn't be a problem if you fight smart, but they have the ability to stun your characters. If for some reason you do get stunned, maybe because of a missed attack, make sure to use an elixir on the character so he's back up and fighting. The other significant enemy is the troll. This is your top priority of taking down in a battle. If you're encountering one of them, make sure you start out by using 2 of your powerful synergies, either Gaia Blast or Flash Bolt, on it. If there's multiple trolls in a particular encounter, use all 3 of your synergies to be able to take them out. You don't want to be hit by a physical attack from a troll. Besides for that, the same tactics generally apply. Ivan used flash bolts, Izak and Garret attack between 2 or 3 enemies. If there's multiple enemies, Ivan used flash bolt and Izak or Garret used one of their synergies to finish them off. Towards the end of Kolyma Forest, you'll encounter a dam area. If you solve the puzzle in this area, you can get access to a new armor. I would recommend giving that to Ivan. You will eventually reach Tret, and on climbing the tree, you will find a lot of even tougher enemies. Hopefully you've reached at least level 7 by this point. You want to hit level 8 before you encounter the bosses at the end of the dungeon. In the beginning of this dungeon, the enemies come in lower numbers and you're not fighting as many of the stronger enemies. However, towards the top of the tree, you're going to be encountering the newer enemies, the creeper, the gnome, more trolls, which can be a problem. The only other thing I would say to look out for are the spiders. They can debuff your defense, which can be a problem in large groups. Towards the top of the tree, you might find the mini boss Breeze. This is another Djinn that you need to fight to be able to have it join you, and it is capable of running. So you're trying to fell it before it runs away. The easiest way to do this is just use your strongest attacks, so Gaia Blast and Flash Bolt, and hope to knock it out before it runs away. If it does run away, just run back into another room of the tree and come back out, and you should be able to face it again. After defeating Breeze, I would recommend setting him to Izak. This will make Izak the Illusionist class, which is just a stronger apprentice. He'll have the same abilities, but stronger stats. Once you solve the puzzle on the topmost of the tree, you'll fall down to the base of the tree, and this is where you're going to be fighting boss number 3. As you can see, boss number 3 has a lot of hit points. His attacks aren't super powerful, so you should be fine, especially because you have Ivan there to heal. I would recommend using Gaia, Blast, and Flash Bolt. However, stop using Flash Bolt and start attacking when Ivan reaches around 12 PP, and save the remaining PP to cure your party members as needed. The boss is also capable of putting you to sleep, so that's also why you've brought elixirs. If he puts one of your party members to sleep, use an elixir on him so he can get back to fighting. After defeating the boss, watch the scene and you can leave the dungeon. This is going to be the end of part 3 of my challenge walkthrough. I'll see you next time.